Oh, welcome back, and yes, it is that time of year again. We're into the Call of Duty beta, Modern Warfare 2 2022, and today what I thought I'd do is just show you around the game a little, give you my honest feeling on it, and yeah, you can make an informed choice whether it's for you. Should be good. Let's do it. So before we get started today, I just want to point one thing out. This is feedback on the game, my personal opinion. In no way is it aimed at being completely negative towards either Activision or Infinity Ward. It's just my opinion of how I feel with the game. And to be fair, Infinity Ward is asking for feedback, and anything that I'm saying in this video I will also put in writing and send to Infinity as part of the community feedback process. So very important that you understand that this is not going to be a hater video. This is just purely constructive feedback. So my initial impressions on Modern Warfare 2 is actually a lot of fun. Last year at this time I was sitting here, and if you watched my feedback video on Vanguard, you will know I wasn't totally happy with that game, and as it turned out, I wasn't far off the mark as far as the community's feeling towards Vanguard. Some of the game I liked, some of the game I didn't. It's a completely different story this year with Modern Warfare 2, I can tell you. I enjoyed this beta a heck of a lot, and I've been playing the absolute snot out of it, let me tell you, so that I can bring a fairly balanced view to all of you subscribers out there who are interested in this. Now, I've played single player, I've played with Mikey in co-op, and we've been testing the crap out of this. So I've been playing on very good latency and very high latency, and I've got to tell you that this game plays extremely well regardless. It's probably one of the smoothest betas I've ever seen. I had a few texture glitches, but apart from that, there's been very few problems or bugs. And also, I've played it on PlayStation and Xbox just to get a rounded view on it, to see how it plays on both systems. Obviously, I'm playing on Xbox Series X for most of this footage, and I was playing on PlayStation 4, so there is a bit of a gap as far as generational technology is concerned, but I've got to tell you, it plays as well on both systems, and you're not going to have a drama if you've got an earlier gen console. It plays fantastic. It is a much quicker, snappier game than Vanguard. The maps are fantastic. I really do enjoy the maps. We've played on 4 for this weekend, and I've been playing Team Deathmatch and Domination because that's mostly what I play anyway. But I will be venturing into some of the other modes that they offer, and we'll see that in the interface in a wee bit. Now, the footage you're seeing here is actually one of the first games I played on Xbox Series X, and yeah, you can probably tell that I'm still trying to find my way around the map, etc. But as you can see, the gunfights are extremely quick, and there has been some discussion on whether the time to kill is too fast in this game. I actually don't think it is. I think it's right up there with most Call of Duties. I don't find it too quick at all. The one thing that I don't like as far as the kind of gameplay goes is that your enemies have no name tags, red name tags on their player character, which is kind of odd because your teammates have a name tag. So I'd like to see Infinity Ward change that. It just I don't know, sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's an enemy or not. And yeah, we always had the traditional game tags. So Infinity Ward, in their defense, have said yeah, they want to just make that much more of a tactical point in the game, but I just totally disagree. I think you need to have name tags on both sides to be balanced. The character models, we have factions back this year, and so the character models are different. We're not all running around looking the same, which helps a little in that respect, but still you're talking about split second decisions, and so to have a name on a red bar or something on the opposition players would help a lot. Of the 4 maps that we've played, the maps are fantastic. I've got no issue with the maps. They look bright. They're saturated, which is unusual for a Call of Duty game. They are quite small maps and they play pretty quickly, and I actually like that because I've got a fairly aggressive style, although depending on what's going on in the map, obviously you change your style a little bit to adapt to the enemies, but they play it very nicely. They're logical there. I'm not a big fan of having open doors to open, but I can live with that. I just don't think doors and that kind of stuff add anything to the gameplay, to be honest, except if you're sitting in the corner waiting for somebody to come. But yeah, it's not a game changer for me. I can handle that. It's fine, but I just don't think they belong there. I haven't seen any shootable cover, although you can shoot through walls in this game. I'm sure the community will find all those spots for us. And yeah, the flow of the maps just work very, very well. Now, one of the things that they've taken out this year is red dots on the minimap for the enemy. So traditionally what would happen is if the enemy shot their weapon, they would appear as a red dot on the map. They've taken that out, and I think that's a huge mistake on Infinity Ward's point, because the red dots on the minimap kind of set your direction. To me, I've learned to adapt a little to it, so it's not a huge game changer, but I think it's a huge mistake not having those dots on the map. You can generally tell where the enemy is by looking at your teammates on the map, but I think to have a balance and make the game flow a little more, the red dots on the map need to be there, and I know the community's pretty outraged that they're not. And even for the pro scene, you're going to need those indicators on the map. Now, one of the big things in this game is around the fact that the footstep audio is very, very loud. My goodness, I can hear somebody coming from Perth, and I'm sitting in Sydney. I can sit in a corner and wait for them to come through. Now, the traditional counter to that footstep audio has always been dead silence, and that's traditionally been a perk, and it was a perk in Cold War. And Infinity Ward said in their next presentation that, yeah, they really wanted to encourage different play styles for this game. Now, I'm a fairly aggressive player. I wouldn't say I'm out and out rusher, but I'm a fairly aggressive player, and that footstep audio is fairly negative to allowing me to run around the map. I have to actually wait for dead silence to charge up, and the whole point of the dead silence is it's a field upgrade, as it was in Modern Warfare 2019, and not a perk. And I think that personally is a huge mistake on Infinity Ward's point. You need to make dead silence a perk, and we'll get to the perk system in a little bit, but that's just silly. Either tone down your footstep audio or make dead silence a perk. There's no argument about that. And again, that is a fairly common comment, and one of the big comments that the community is making right now, and I totally agree with it. It makes no sense for the dead silence to be a field upgrade. One of the interesting things that they did do during the beta weekends is that they limited the amount of guns that you could use, which I think is quite interesting. But when I thought about it, when I took some time and I thought about it, it actually makes a huge amount of sense, because it means that there is a level playing field for everybody. Everybody uses the same type of weapons. And we'll look at the Gunsmith in a bit, but there's a limited amount of attachments on your weapons, so it really encourages the creativity in as much as setting your gun up for your playstyle, but only having a limited amount of weapons to play with. Now, we just saw me playing around with what is effectively an AK-74U variant. The weird thing about that gun is they gave you it, you unlocked it, but you could not unlock any of the attachments for it. It was just really weird, and the gun played fantastic without any attachments on it, so it was kind of a strange one. It was also very strange that they only had a limited amount of weapons for you to play with, and to unlock them took a lot of grinding, way too much grinding to unlock, a good SMG in the Fennec, for instance. You could play with the Hurricane SMG, which was just completely overpowered, a crazy weapon, but you had to go to the presets that they gave you in the game, and we will show you that a little bit later, to use the Hurricane, and a lot of people were doing that. Because that gun was just OP. The LMGs are a little bit underdone at the moment. They just didn't seem to have the stopping power of the M4 that you're seeing here, or the AK-74U or the Hurricane. So I think those need a little bit of balancing work. But overall, the guns are fantastic. They're just fantastic, and didn't matter what I picked up. I was pretty effective, and I could hold my own with whatever weapon configuration that I used. So here's a quick look at the Gunsmith and what it looks like. You custom loadouts, and obviously you just click in, and you earn, as you play through the game, you earn all these different attachments as you would normally do. And you can see you can, the one big thing that you can do this year is you can actually change the receiver, which means you can make all kinds of variants from one gun. But yeah, the Gunsmith's pretty nice. It's pretty intuitive. You're limited to 5 attachments on your gun, which I think is really nice. And 10 attachments last year was just way too much. So you really need to take your time to think about what kind of setup you want to have, and kind of make that to mold around your playstyle if you like. If you want to put an extra attachment on your gun, you'll get a little screen that pops up to say, if you put this attachment on your gun, then there's a consequence. Here's what you're getting rid of. Here's what you're gaining. And I really like that. I really like how they've done that. It really is nice. I played around with the receivers on one of the LMGs and ended up getting a single fire, and that's something else that you can do. You have got a variable, depending on the receiver that you put on, you've got a variable speed on your gun. So single shot and rapid fire, depending on what it is and how quick the gun fires. So I think they've done a fantastic job with the Gunsmith. I really like it a lot, and it looks pretty fancy. If there is one downside to this, I like to, if I earn some of those attachments during a match, I like to kind of go in between lobbies and just adjust my gun and try different attachments. And what I'm finding is that the loadouts, and to get to the Gunsmith, it's buried very deep in the game, and by the time you get in there and you're reading through what the new attachments that you've just gained are doing, the next game starts. And I think they need to adjust that a little bit, and then need to make it a little bit easier to get to the Gunsmith. At the moment, you really have to go through a whole lot of series of menus to get to where you need to. The other good thing is that your gun is editable in game, so if you're not happy with the setup when you're playing a game, you can actually just fix it on the run, which we've had for a few years now. But it's perfect because you can just try different attachment combinations in game, and then finally, hopefully, you'll get to the one that is balanced for you. Now you can see here, we'll show you how the loadout looks, and you can see the perks are along there, and you have these kind of preset perks, but you can create your own. You just click in, and basically you get 2 perks to start with, and then you earn 2 during the gameplay. But I just don't like this perk system. I've got to be honest, I do not like this perk system they've put together. I'd rather just pick 3 perks and be done with it. Earning these perks as you play the game is just, I don't know why they've done it that way. Not a fan of that at all. And hopefully they change that for the near future. So there we go, that's pretty much all I've got to say about the new Call of Duty for 2022. I think it's going to be a real fun year this year. I think Infinity Ward have got a little bit of tweaking to do. And if they listen to the community this time, and hopefully they listen to the community this year, if they make the tweaks that the community is asking for, I think this is going to be an absolute ripper of a Call of Duty, and I'm looking forward to it. It has been a lot of fun so far. I've played a lot of hours, and yeah, I'm not disappointed in any way. So let's just review what I want to change. Dead silence needs to be a perk. Red dots on the minimap. Please. The perk system, just go back to a traditional perk system. If we have a perk pro system, I'm cool with that you earn in game, but I want 3 perks to start with, and I want to be able to counter different play styles. And that's about it. I haven't really got too much more that I want to add. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it gives you a good informed look at the new game. And the game will be out in about a month's time. So we haven't got too much time to wait before we get our hands on the full game. And I just can't wait. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch you next time. See ya.